Hello! Finally, the day you've all been waiting for. Oh, what? I didn't fix the white balance, whatever. Too late now. Was not. I could turn it off, but I'm not going to. Alright, let's just get stuck in. Do we know what's happening today? We know it's the pull-throughs. Did I say plugins at some point? I think I might have done. Anyway, yes, so pull-throughs today. Very exciting. I think what I'll do is I'll show you the pull-throughs first. Now there are 10 designs. I might make more. I have a couple of ideas. I don't know how viable they are. These are listed just as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can buy them singularly in the small size, or you can buy them singularly in the large size, right? I'll explain the sizes in a minute, but this is the small, this is the large, right? And pink. And the smalls are $5 each, and the large are disc large $5 each. So I have not made a difference in the prices on these. There you go. If you buy the whole set of 10, it will be $40 instead of $50. Just I haven't made any other. I haven't made sets with all the other bits and pieces because I'm not quite sure what will be the best sets for that. So everything just has individual prices. So if you want a whole set, you can order a set of these and then get all the other bits and pieces that come with it. Just chuck them in your cart. Alright, so the 10 designs. So you saw that one, which is the spinny looking one, which is super cool. Alright, and then we have this one. And we have this one. Wow, that actually focused. Who knew it was going to focus? This one might not focus. I was going to say it might not focus on that one. This one, which the picture on the website, these two bits are kind of wonky. They were wonky. I fixed it. So it actually looks like this now, not the picture on the website. So I will update that at some point. And that one. And that one. Which is kind of cool because it looks like a spider web. Alright, so that's the 10 different... No, it's not. That's 9 designs. That's the 10th design right there. So, yeah. So that's the 10 designs. And like I said, you can buy them singularly or you can buy them in a set. You can get the set in the small or the large. Now, the difference is these are specifically designed to work in PVC pipe because I couldn't find cylinder molds even in China that I could get and sell to you guys at a reasonable rate. They're stupidly priced, and I don't think anyone should have to pay, $30, $40 for a mold. It's just not worth it. So I've designed these for PVC pipe, and most people in Australia that I know of who make cylinder soaps tend to make them in PVC pipe anyway. And it's cheap and it's easy and it's like super easy to get your soap out. If you can't get it out, chuck it in the freezer. Freezer doesn't hurt the PVC pipe because PVC pipe is meant to get hot and cold. So yeah, so I have decided that I am going to provide PVC pipe, but because I don't want to be boring, I've painted the PVC pipe because, you know me, I can't just leave things well enough alone. So I have a few down here. This is the small size. This is just 2. You can actually see the PVC pipe stuff through it. So these are they're not perfect, right? They're not going to be perfect. I have sanded these, primed them, painted them and put gloss on them. But as you can see, it doesn't take very much at all for them to get scratches on them. So if you get these, they will scratch. If you come back to me after using it for a week and say, it's all scratched up, I want my money back, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get your money back. You have been warned, and it is written clearly on the website that these will scratch. It's paint on plastic, and even with plastic primer, it's still going to scratch off. So be warned. But this is the small size. As you can see, I'll grab a large one. This is the large size. Now I only have one of these. You can actually see the colours on it. I bought some Chameleon spray paint. I had to test it on this. So there's one of these. So one lucky person who orders a black will get this. You can see the difference in sizes. I can actually very carefully place that in there and show you that, right? Now can I very carefully get that out? Wow. Right, so yeah, there's a few different designs in the smalls and the larges. I've just painted them whatever took my fancy at the time. So there's a few blacks, and then there's a few of these. There's all different colours. Sorry. So there's some plain ones as well. That's just a plain orange. And you can sort of scrape up the side of it already or it's got paint transfer on it actually, I think. Because this is just what happens with this sort of paint. So, like I said, if you're going to order these, you're just getting PVC pipe. It just happens to have some paint on the outside of it. If you don't want that, you can always go to Bunnings and buy your own PVC pipe. It doesn't come in these lengths. You're going to have to cut it yourself. That's, you know, these are cut for your convenience. So, the holes in the middle of these pull-through tools is a particular diameter. It's exactly the same diameter in both sizes of the pull-throughs, and it's designed to work with an M6 threaded rod, which is these little babies down here. Oh, look out, we've all blurred up. Right, so what you do is you take, they come with 2 nuts, is you take one nut off, you put your pull-through tool on, you put your nut back on if you're actually anyway capable, you tighten them so that they are holding it, and there's your pull-through tool, right? So then that goes into here all the way down to the bottom, and there's your pull-through, and then you pour your soap in and you pull that out, and Bob's your uncle. He's not mine because I don't have an Uncle Bob. Right, so the flaw in that plan obviously is there's nothing on the ends of this, and also your threaded rod tends to wobble around, right? So I made end caps. You can buy end caps for PVC pipe from Bunnings. If you want to just go and buy end cap, go ahead and do so. It's actually quite expensive, which was really surprising. So these are $3 and $4. So $3 for the little one, $4 for the large. They just slide on the ends like that. Now I have 2 suggestions for you. Either put some Glad wrap and a rubber band and then put this on and you should be good, or you can pour some melt and pour in the bottom of this. It can't be like hot, don't like have it bubbling out of the microwave because this will warp. If it's, you know how you can get melt and pour to just before it just starts to solid back up again, you can pour it, do that, sit that in there, that will seal that because it's melt and pour. You could do with wax too if you really wanted to, but why would you want to when it's not soap? And then, yeah, so, and then they just sit like that, and then that goes in there. I've also left enough room inside these, so when you put this in here, there's a little bit of wiggle room. So if you line these with some paper or something, then you've still got a little bit of wiggle room. So yeah. Alright, now the thing that I invented myself, which I'm kind of proud of, I feel like I'm Jackie on Nerdy Crafter. Instead of waving a sharp pointy thing, I'm waving a thingy at you. Which will make no sense to anyone unless they follow Nerdy Crafter. So, but you should, because she's awesome and funny and Like, yeah, she's funny. I like Jackie. Anyway, yeah, when you are pouring these in, all right, when you've got that in there, you have to hold this, and then you have to pour your soap, and it's like, God, right, okay. And you also, the best way to get good results for these is you need to pour down the threaded rod, right? If your colours are sort of going straight in on top of one another, like a funnel pour, I guess. If they're going one on top of the other, you're going to get better results as you pull this up through your soap. So it's kind of hard to sort of have this exactly in the middle, because, you know, you're moving it about and you're pouring your soap in, and it's sort of like, you know. So I invented these. I know, it's kind of weird, right? So it's basically just a funnel, but I've also included the little wheel thingy on the bottom. It's basically just another pull-through disc. So that when you put... it's hard because nothing is quite high enough. When you put the funnel in here, it doesn't slide around, like it's not going to move about, because it's got this on the bottom, so it holds it in place. So, like, it took a fair bit of jiggling to get that. So if you're making soap like that, you deserve for your funnel to fall out. But it also, what it does is it makes it... It's going to fall out the ends. It's going to make it more directional, so even if you had it sitting like that and didn't move it, you could just pour straight down, and it's going to slide down it's going to slide straight down the threaded rod without you doing very much, like trying to be super accurate. So I like to make soaping as easy as humanly possible, because, you know, soaping sometimes isn't as easy as humanly possible. So, so yes, so that's my little invention, which I'm super proud of, because it's like no one else sells these, no one else makes these, because I invented the bloody things. So that's my little extra something that I did mention, I think yesterday, that I had things. Well, you guys also didn't know about the PVC pipes. So, but yes, there is a limited number of the PVC pipes, because I don't know if many people will buy them or not. It's so grotty. They all need a wipe out. They still have dust from being cut on the insides. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people will order the PVC pipes, so I haven't got many of those. I've only got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the big ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8 in the small ones. So I have got more PVC pipe out in the shed which hasn't been cut or painted. So if you guys do like these and do buy these, I can make more. The threaded rods, I have, I think, 15 of these. Yeah, 15 of these. These will be $3 each, and that includes the nuts on the end. I also have more of this out in the shed to cut if you feel you need it. You can also just buy this yourself from Bunnings. You can't buy it in this length. You have to buy it in a 1.2 metre length and cut it to size. And you'll also have to buy the nuts. Now this is a M6 threaded rod. So if you're going to get it yourself, you need M6. It's the only size that will fit in these holes. If you get a smaller size, it will fit in the holes. But if you get a bigger size and go, why doesn't this fit? It's because these are designed to fit on an M6 threaded rod, right? Or M6 rod. It doesn't have to be threaded. Well, it has to have thread somewhere. Otherwise the nuts won't go on it, won't hold this, it'll just fall off. So yeah, so that's it. That's everything. I think end caps, shapers, funnels, PVC pipe. That's everything. Yes. So there's 2 sizes in this. There's 2 sizes in everything, because I've designed them to work with these 2 different sizes of PVC pipe. So I have not made any to fit with any sort of cylinder molds, because because of the price of them, I'm not prepared to buy one and resize to it. If you have a cylinder mold that you want to use and you want these to be resized to that, that's perfectly fine. I'm more than happy to, you know, guys, anyone who knows, who's ordered anything, you know I'm happy to resize things. I just need to know if you're going to use a different size threaded rod. I'll need to know that, because this hole will have to be adjusted, and I'll need to know the inner diameter of whatever it is you're using, along with whether or not you want any play in there. So like if your inner diameter is like say 7.5 and you just tell me 7.5, that's what I'm going to make. And then if it's like out by 0.5 mil, it may not slide up and down in your mold. So you need to be sort of aware of this and realize that sometimes, you know, a couple of mil, like I said, if you say it's 75 mil, then I would probably make this at say 70 or 72 mil, just to have that bit of play. Like, it's kind of hard to show you, but you can see how that's got a bit of room in it. You could see for a minute. And I've done that on purpose, because it doesn't really make much difference to the final design if you've got a little, you know, like 2 mil round or 3 or so mil around the edges. But it does if you want to line your molds. So, yeah, alright, that's a lot of talking in a very short amount of time. Which I don't know why I think this is anything new, but whatever. So that's it. So that wraps up all our... I did the loud thing again, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's working so well all of a sudden. I honestly don't know. It's like, it's never been this loud before. So, but anyway, yes, that wraps up all of the new releases for now. There are lots of new things coming. Some things I don't want to tell you about, because they're sort of like little secret sort of things there. I've also invented something else for soap making. I think it's something that is available for other crafts, but I've never seen anyone use it for soaping, and I'm sort of designing it in a way that is specifically for soaping. There are bath bomb molds coming. I will tell you that, because I have been asked numerous times in messages and whatnot. Yes, bath bomb molds are coming. I have some out being tested at the moment. I haven't heard back yet, but I'll have a chat with her probably today and see how they're going. And when the new printer gets here, I'll probably print some up and have a go myself. I mean, I know how to make bath bombs, I just don't like making bath bombs. I mostly don't like making bath bombs because I always find that there's too much smell with bath bombs, and they're very dependent upon the weather. But all I need to do is just test that they squish as well as they're supposed to, and yeah, and make some promos for our photos. So I mean, they don't need to hold together after that, because I won't be selling them. I'll just be making them just purely to test the molds. So this I can do. But yes, I plan on doing quite a few different sorts of molds. There's also, what else we got coming? I got I don't know where I put it. Let me go. I'll be back. Tripped over the box. There's a box. I don't know if you guys can. You can kind of see the box with the PVC pipe in it down here. Well, there's only like this much room to walk around it, and yeah, of course I tripped. So I got this in the mail today, which is a pizza dough cutter or something, or dough cutter. It works absolutely perfectly and fits in the slot beautifully. So I'm going to test it cutting some soap, but I think these might be the go, honestly, because, you know, they're pretty awesome, and it's like super solid and you can clean it. So anyway, so the other thing is, when I was printing these, this is the actual final, I'll put it around that way so you can see my logo. This is the final model of the ones that I sell, right? It's all the same dimensions. Now, before that, I made one, you can see it's a little bit thinner. Is it? Yeah, it's a smidge thinner. It only holds soap that is just a bit over 7 centimetres wide, and it's obviously not as high. Now, if you want one of these and you are only doing like 7 centimetre or under wide, and you're not doing anything taller than 7 centimetres, it's still the same dimension, still 2.5 centimetres in here. If you want this one, put in an order and just put it in your order notes that you'll take the pastel blue one, because otherwise this is just going to sit here. Probably won't use this, so I think I'll probably this will be the one that I'll be testing, because it's got the higher sides on it, so, and it's a wider width. But yeah, if you want this one, yeah, definitely just chuck this in your cart and just put it in the notes, and I might even give you a discount, maybe. I say maybe because I'll probably forget, and I'm not entirely sure how to do discounts. So anyway, but the other thing I want to show you is a little while back on Instagram I put up a picture of showing that the printer won and I lost. This is what I printed, right? Now this was actually the exact same size as, yep, it's the same size as that one. So that is what I woke up to. Just so you know how angry I have been about these printers, like, and you can also see the quality, how bad it is. Like, that is not what sides of printed things are supposed to look like. Look at the pink one. Even the blue one, it has one line on it. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see. You can see on the end there, you can see that one line. I'm not sure what that little glitch is, but still, I mean, this is how one of the printers that came, the dodgy printers that I'm still trying to get my money back for, this is how it prints. And they are trying to tell me that there's nothing wrong with the printer, or that they're going to fix it from China. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to fix it from China, but I mean, seriously, like, I come out 10 hours later, because I put it on over. I put these on overnight because they take 10.5 hours. I come out 10 hours later, and this is all like this. It's like, what? This is 10 hours wasted when I could have been printing things I could actually sell. So anyway, that's my high horse. Found it, got on it. Now we're gonna get off it. But yeah, they're still pushing me around. They're not pushing me around, they're being really sort of blasé. Like, I've put in a complaint with a dispute with PayPal, and they're just doing the exact same thing. That they say, like, oh yes, we've got your message, we're looking into it, and then 4 days will go by and I'll have to message again and say, excuse me, I just want the return address so I can send these back. Oh yes. And then, like, a day later or 2 days later, they'll reply and say, yes, oh yes, we're looking into it, and then nothing. And I'm just, so I sent a message back yesterday saying, please just send me the return address. The printers are boxed up. That is all I require at this point. I just want the return address so I can send them back and get a full refund of what I paid and the shipping that this is going to cost to send back. So we'll see how they respond to that. If they don't respond with a return address, then I'm going to escalate it with PayPal, because I've had enough. I have already bought 2 more printers. So the $700 that I originally spent on those printers, I have now again spent, because I still needed the 2 printers. So I have now spent $1,400 on printers to get 2 working printers that are only worth $700. So it kind of makes me aggravated, especially when I'm looking at something like this, which is just pitiful. Like, even if that had printed the full height, I couldn't sell it because the print quality is just so freaking bad. So it's, and all the only response I've ever come back with is 3 times the exact same email right? They came back and said, oh, your Z-axis, can you push on it? Is there a sense of frustration? Which obviously in Chinese means, is it hard to push it down? Which no, I can push it down like this with my finger, which means it's sliding fine. I've greased it and everything. I even used the fancy friggin' stuff that Angus uses. Sorry. Angus is a 3D printing channel. It's called Maker's Muse, and he's like my little geek crush. He's, I don't know, he's like in his 20s. He's only young, and he's not like super gorgeous or anything, but he's just like, he's so smart and he's so sweet, and he loves 3D printing, and just, I love watching Angus, and he's Australian, so Australian or Kiwi always like, oh, they're from home kind of thing, Not that I'm from New Zealand, but I don't know. I've got someone put in an order from Kiwi land the other day. I'm like, oh yes, my very first New Zealand order. I'm so happy. I don't know why. I've never been to New Zealand. I probably never go to New Zealand. I like the people. Everybody I've ever met from New Zealand has always been like super nice, and like Maoris and all those guys, they're just like really cool people. So I guess I sort of, and we're sort of like cousins, Australia and New Zealand, so we have this sort of rivalry, but I think we sort of like secretly like each other, but you got to pick on them because that's just the way it is, sort of thing. I don't know. It's kind of odd how we pick on Kiwis all the time, but yeah. So anyway, I don't know. That was just a tangent, wasn't it? Sorry. It's the last video, so I have to ramble for the end of it. Okay, so that's it. So pull throughs. So go ahead, do what you're all going to do. I don't mind. I have a new printer turning up next week, so I will be able to handle all the orders. I'm handling all the orders you have already given me, so you should see the tail. It's so funny because if orders come within 2 days, I sort of coalesce them, and if there's like a whole bunch of pink, I'll sort of put them all together and print those on one printer so it's got pink on it, and then the white out of all the orders, I'll coalesce that and put it on another printer. So just so I'm not, because the thing that sort of takes the most time is doing up the files with all the different things in it. If it's like, if it's something that's not, if it's like just one of everything, then they're not made, because I can print 2 shapers at a time, right? And a couple of stamps. So if you order like this shaper, this stamp, this stamp, I can put them all together in one file, and then it goes out to the printer, and then it'll print. Like, it still takes the same amount of time as if that you were doing all those individually. Unfortunately, 3D printers do not condense time when you put things together. They just take the exact same amount of time just added together. Like one shaper will take 1 hour and 23 minutes. One shaper will take 1 hour and 48 minutes. If you put them together in a file, they take those amount of times added together, which I can't. I have dementia, apparently. No, I just don't like maths. Yeah, so one of the things that takes the most amount of time with 3D printing is getting the files together, slicing them in Cura, putting them on the these, I don't know how I don't lose these little things. I don't know why we're still working with micro SD cards. Like, seriously, can we just not work with USB sticks, please? I could convert them. I probably will at some point, because these things drive me mad. But yeah, and then you've got to take that out to the printer, put it in the printer. If it's a different colour, you've got to then heat the printer up to its 200 degrees, take your filament out, put your new filament in, start your print. So if I can just have a whole bunch of files on one of these, like if I say get 7 ready, and then put them on this, go out there, plug it in, and it's that colour, then I can just print 7. When it finishes, I peel them off, start it again, print it, and do it like that. So having 3 printers with 3 different colours on them is just makes everything just work quicker, which means I can get things quicker. So I tend to take 2 days of orders and sort of coalesce them into like one order. So if you have ordered something within like a 2-day range of someone else's, your stuff is all getting printed together if you have the same colours. So you'll still get the right things unless you're like Tamika, sorry, and didn't send you your stupid bloody soap. Oh dear. Yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, I don't know if you wanted to know that. Now you know that. So if you didn't want to know that, just forget I said anything. But anyway, yes, thank you very much for all of everything. I really appreciate it. This has been a hell of a week. I'm going down to fill my script of sleeping pills, and I'm going to have a well-deserved sleep tonight, because for the last 3 nights now I have slept for a maximum of about 4 hours each, and I'm sick of it. But yeah, that's my reward for getting through this week without going spare, is I'm going to have a good solid 8 hours sleep in which I do not wake up or have dreams or do anything other than just sleep. And do it at night time instead of at 6 o'clock when I went to sleep this morning. So yeah. But yes, alright guys, I'm going to go. And to the lady who ordered the purple one of these, your order's getting posted today. So if you're watching, I managed to get it printed last night. So you should be very happy about that. So that was my very first loaf cutter mould, which I was really stoked. So thank you for the order. So, and it was purple. It looks really nice, really, really nice. And I have 1 box here because I've ordered boxes specifically for these, because they don't fit in the boxes that I actually have. So I've ordered a specific size box because I didn't want to send these in the padded envelopes, because I was a bit worried, because I mean these do have flex and they'd probably be all right, but I would hate for one of these to turn up and have, you know, this snapped off because a postie decided to stand on it or something, you know. So yeah, alright, that's it. I'll shut up, because I keep saying I'm going to shut up and then I keep not shutting up, so now I'm going to shut up. And I will see you guys on Monday for Blood Orange, I think, which I made weeks ago. I think it's almost cured, honestly. Alright, thank you and goodbye. Have a good weekend. Bye.